Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool. Well, the Olight Ostation X is ready for prime time. Now this was a project that was started on Kickstarter, and that's a good way for a company to kind of gauge interest, see if people are really ready to put their money where their mouth is, if they're interested in the product. And it had pretty much wild success, which is kind of unusual because it's a battery charger. You drop your AA batteries in the top and they come out charged in the bottom. I mean, it seems simple, but it's revolutionary. It charges 4 cells at a time, and it will charge and store up to 32 batteries, this is what 32 batteries looks like. It's a lot of batteries. And for those of us, myself included, that use a lot of AA batteries, especially in both modern and some legacy devices, you know, such as I've got GPSs, walkie-talkies, scanner, shortwave radio, different kinds of two-way radios, flashlights, you know, more GPSs, metal detectors. Take 8 at a time. But anyway, having something like this is really a simple system where all you do is you take your batteries out of your product, or, you know, your extras, drop them in, don't worry about it. If they're charged, they'll just go through fine. If they're not charged, they'll get charged and go through fine. If you accidentally put the wrong battery in, it pops out in this tray here. And this tray, I just put some in for examples, will pick up various batteries that are either not rechargeable or there's a problem with them. Maybe they're too old, maybe they're not able to take the charge. When you are dealing with a rechargeable one you think should be good, I just drop it right back in again. This device has infinite patience and will just kick it right back out. No problem. Now, this thing has essentially 4 channels, four different pathways down into this charger, and I'll show you that in a sec. The earlier version had pegs across here, and it was kind of like a pachinko machine, and it would drop it down, ideally randomly, but into you know, stacked columns. You kind of get to choose here. The other thing is it's got a cover. The cover is a little more solid than on the prototype, but that's important because often this thing is going to live somewhere. I've got it tucked on a shelf. It does run off a USB-C. Comes or that just plugs in the back. You can get a USB-C cable and charger if you need one. Once you turn this thing on, you can see this start to flash here. You know, magic's going to happen inside here. It's going to start dropping batteries if they're not already in. I can see that one just drop down into the charging area. Let me go ahead and open that up and show you what you're looking at here. So this is inside this thing. It's going to yell at me if I bend it because it's got you know, it uses gravity, so if you tilt it too far, it screams at you. But anyway, there's another cell down in there. That's where the charging takes place. This is just setting this up for the next one. When they're charged, they just drop down here into these stacked ramps, and then you can kick the battery out as needed, just like a toothpick at the bottom, or as many as you want. And of course, once you're either done carrying the batteries around, or you pop them out of your device, just drop them back in and let this thing go to work. Now, the reason I was talking about this cover, it's a dust cover, and that's because this thing's probably going to find a home. It's always going to be waiting. If it is empty, you can just push the button and turn it off. You can see this changes color. It'll also give an indication of the charging amount by where the ring actually is in the circle. So 12 o'clock would be a complete charge. So you'll see the kind of the weakest cell will give you an indication here. Its general charge is at 1.46 volts, and you can do a fast charging if you use the enabled app. So if the app is connected, there is a choice for that. The other thing is, with the 32 batteries, which is quite a lot, you always are ready to go. So it's kind of like topping things off. That's one of the things that I talk about with rechargeable batteries. You can just pop the batteries out, put brand new ones in, not worry. Drop them in here. You don't have to worry about you spending the time to cycle things, even pay attention to it. And here's another benefit. This is an old mag light I've got, but check this out. It is so corroded in there. Why? Well, I wanted to keep it ready. It's got a set of batteries in it. It looks like Kirkland alkaline batteries are what was in this before it died. Someday I'll try to fix this thing. But anyway, the reason for that was simply I wanted to have this ready. It used to have a location by a back door, but the problem was, you know, I'd forget about it, and I didn't want to waste the batteries because they were just sitting in there. You know, batteries are expensive. But what I could have easily done is drop some rechargeables in there and say every number of months or whatever, just swap them out, brand new batteries, not worry, throw the old ones in, forget about it. So that's where this is kind of cool. Here you can see this spot here at about 7 o'clock is how full the batteries are that are in the current cradle inside here, and you'll slowly watch that move up around. Hits 12, batteries drop down, another set of 4 drop in, or however many are there. It's a pretty cool little system, and you know, for the price, it's a little over $100, which is interesting because a good simple charger like this, I think this one was in the 30s, maybe more when I got it. You know, probably this was in the 20s, and you know, you are getting so much more with something like this. Olight also sells batteries if you want, 2500 milliamp AA rechargeables, but you can use about any of them, even some of the older ones that are not as powerful, just not the nickel metal hydride older versions. Not those, the nickel cadmium, don't put those in there. And then you can just worry you know, a lot less about your charging and use your AA tools with reckless abandon. Pretty cool thing here. The Ostation X by Olight, ready to go. Finally. And with that, Doc out.